Sudah ada Pak Kristo, sudah ada Pak Munir.
Pak Kristo, do you record this room?
You're still muted, Pak Kristo.
Iya Pak, sudah saya record Pak.
Oke.
Okay. I think we can start. Right, 8 o'clock. Ya, Pak Kristo, are you ready?
Ready, sir?
Oke, Pak Munir sudah siap? Mantap.
Ya, silakan dimulai, Pak.
Oke, Pak Kristo, you have the next 10 minutes for your teaching simulation. So,
Pak Kristo pilih set berapa?
Saya yang untuk simulasi ini yang kedua, kemudian untuk second RPP-nya itu yang ketiga.
Maksudnya gimana? Yang mau disimulasikan set berapa? Set kedua ya?
Ya. Yang satunya kan ada 2 di RP, satunya yang ketiga.
Oke.
Okay. And the text type is
Analytical expression text.
okay, good. Yeah, you may start now, Pak Kristo.
Okay, sir. Okay, good morning, students. How are you today? I hope that you are in good condition. Okay, about me? Of course, I'm really amazing today. Thank you. Okay. What we are going to do today is about, okay, look at the picture on the screen. The magic of opinion in life makes you alive. Okay, of course, you are still in the big question. So what's the purposes? Okay, is that right? Okay. Have you ever imagined that when you have an opinion or idea and then you tell to somebody, you tell to your friends, and with some reasons, now what do you feel? Are you excited or yeah, satisfied when you tell about the reasons that why you tell something to the others? Yeah, some of you, I think that you feel happy or satisfied when you tell something that is so important that everybody can know about it. Okay, so that's what we are going to learn much and much today, and we learned in pair and then group, of course. Yeah, so have you ever discussed something with your classmates? Have you ever given an idea in discussion? And what did you feel when you safely told your idea? Okay, Anna? Yeah, you tell something? Okay. That's nice. Okay, but before we start our lesson today, so I want to know about your present today. Everybody present today? Oh, nice, very nice. Stephen, please share about attendance list today link, but at the end of this meeting, because I want to know about your process today. Let me make sure that you are on with me till the end of this meeting. And to get blessed from God, so please, one of who wants to lead prayer today? Okay, Dina, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, students, what we are going to learn today is about analytical assessment text. And nah, pada kesempatan ini ada 3 hal yang kalian nanti akan belajar bersama Bapak, ya. Yang pertama adalah fungsi sosial, struktur teks, kemudian unsur kebahasaan. Dan harapannya adalah kalian mampu memahami itu, tetapi juga bukan soal mampu, tapi kalian terampil menyusun teks ini. Are you ready, guys? Yeah, I hope that you are ready. Okay? Ya, beberapa waktu lalu saya sudah memposting ya di blog saya ada 4 worksheet ya. Jadi ada kegiatan secara individu, kemudian kegiatan dalam secara berpasangan dan juga grup. Dan saya harap bahwa kalian sudah diskusi sehingga hari ini, so time to discuss with your friends. But first, jadi kamu untuk yang pertama ini kalian mengerjakan mengirim pekerjaan kalian melalui Mentimeter, dan kita sudah latih beberapa waktu lalu untuk menggunakan ini, dan pastikan bahwa kalian bisa mengerjakan ini dengan baik. Dan siapa yang pertama nanti mengirim ke Padlet dan akan mendapatkan reward dari saya. Oke, dan ini adalah pertanyaannya sesuai dengan dalam PKPD yang kalian sudah dapat. So there are 4 parts that you are going to do this individual work. Okay, I give you time for about 5 minutes. Oh, you, Maria. So you're the first. And about the others, so we talk later. So it's just warming up about analytical expression text. I hope you enjoy the moment. Salah, untuk Maria, you got silver coin from me because you are the first. Okay, sending about your work today. Okay, now we discuss in pair and group. First is in pair. So there is a video. There are 4 questions that you have to answer in your pair. And so I think that we have 10 pairs here. Is it right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thank you. And so time to share about your work. Okay, please. For first, Mrs. Crew. Okay, nice. Okay, thank you. Give applause. Okay, how about Nathan Screw? Okay, so from your friends' work, any other comments or feedback from there? Okay. Oh, that's nice. So about general structure, yeah, general structure. So any other pair to to clarify or to tell about the general structure? You must grow. Oh, that's nice. So you have a really great, brilliant today. Thank you. Give applause. Okay. So we have accomplished for second activity, and now we move to the third activity. So there is a text about online learning, and there are 5 questions. So I think that we have 5 groups, right? Yeah, of course. Again, for the first group, I think Alex group, I think. Okay, please share about your result of your group. Okay, that's nice. But Rita's group? Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Okay, so any other, you need to, discuss more about this one because we need to know more about analytical expression text. So do you have any questions to your groups, the other group, I mean? Okay, from Bima's group. Okay, please. Okay, know about the strongest argument. Okay, according to Mandy's group, that strongest argument in paragraph 3. So what do you think? Oh, so the second group. So how about the other Feedback? Friend? Okay, read the script. Oh, fourth group. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so about sales script, the third group. Okay, thank you. So I go to sales group today. Okay, give applause. Okay, thank you. And now time for you to work in group 2, and it's about writing. But for deepening this kind of writing skill, so we are going to have a next meeting. So because today is not really enough for us to discuss more, but I give you time for about 10 minutes to finish this work, and you send together. Okay. Okay, I give you time right now. Okay, thank you. Okay, so time for formative text. The text is shared to this chat room, okay? And this is rubrik penilaian, ya. Jadi ada 2 kategori soal, ada pilihan ganda, kemudian ada esai, ya. Kemudian ada perubahan penskoran supaya kalian benar-benar paham tentang penilaian. Nanti saya akan share melalui link melalui WA, ya. Kemudian ini adalah segmen yang paling penting ketika belajar sesuatu. Dan ini yang kalian harus benar-benar kalian penting sekali untuk benar-benar belajar sesuatu. It's not just for your cognitive thing atau keterampilan, skill. Nah, it's about your heart. Jadi apa pentingnya buat kalian? What I've learned from this activity, the Malaysian I got from analytical expression text, and what I need to develop. Jadi ini harus buat refleksi. Dan saya akan tunggu sampai jam 1 siang hari ini. Silakan kalian sampaikan melalui Google Classroom. Okay? So guys, then today so we have accomplished so 4 activities. So I think that you have understood about analytical expression text. Is it right? Okay. So before I close, so anybody here want to give a conclusion about our meeting today? Okay. Nathan. Oh, this is nice. Thank you. Maria? Oh, any other conclusion? Okay, so you have shown me that you have understood about the meaning and some social function and what language features. Of course, language features, so we need more and more for the next round, okay? But it's okay. But I think that you have understood the basic thing of analytical expression text. I hope you enjoyed today's meeting. And for closing this meeting today, I want one of you to what? Okay, before that, so any other question? Okay, no, thank you. And please, one of you to lead the prayer. Okay, Rita, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you for today's meeting and see you next coming meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Kristo. Pak Munir, can I ask a few first questions?
Okay.
Pak Kristo, this is the analytical exposition text. Is this something that you have taught before?
I haven't taught it before.
Okay. What have you taught before? The kinds of text that you have taught before?
Congratulating and complimenting. Yes.
Okay. So this is your first time teaching this kind of text?
Yes.
But in an artificial situation, because you're not. This is not the real one. You're not with your own students in your real classroom. But I think you seem to have done a good job. Yeah. How are you feeling about this? About teaching this?
Actually, when I got this for analytical expression text, I got confused. So what to do? But I'm trying to imagine that. So it's about a little, thing about how to implement this one, then how to make students understand well about this. And then so I'm just eager to know more and more. And then I try to dig the simple thing that is related with the students, student environment. So when they talk about something in the discussion, so I think that they can tell their ideas or something like that. So I think that we start that kind of text from their surroundings.
Mm. So what makes, in your opinion, what makes analytical exposition text different to teach compared to the previous types of text that you have taught?
So what makes difference? I think that it's about what is about the content itself. So because congratulating and complimenting is such kind of, yeah, in my opinion, so it's about really, everybody's life or something like that. So they can talk and then they can congratulate or compliment someone or something like that. So from the kids or something like that. So we are, with that situation. And so I think it's not really a big deal for understanding or even practicing about that one. But when we talk about how to deliver your idea and the reasons that why you really want everybody knows about that one, and so it's a strong opinion about you. So I think that it's not really easy. So that's make difference. So I think the content.
So this is your first time teaching this because, is it because you're teaching in SMA, right?
Yeah.
And this is the class that you don't teach because the text is introduced in year, what is it, 11 or 12? Class 11 or 12?
11.
11.
Yes.
And you've been assigned to teach class 10 all the time, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to tell you that before I make this, lesson plan, I've discussed with the teacher here, so who really knows about the students, and then I I asked help from her. So how about the conditions of the students? So make me really I have like depiction about the students self, and then so I start to do that one because of I know little about the students because I have discussion with my fellow teacher here.
So, for example, if you're required to teach this text to a real class with real students, are you confident you could deliver the material as expected?
Yes, I'm confident.
Hmm.
And then the third worksheet said there is my own text that I made by myself. So yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to make it. And then yeah, so I think the basis thing of analytical expression text. So yeah, I'm confident to do that.
Well, by the way, Pak Christo, how long have you been teaching? How long have you been in the profession?
Actually, I've been teaching for about 13 years, but for English, just about two years. Before I taught English, I taught sociology because that was my first, graduation for philosophy, and my second English, and then just 2 years teaching.
So your academic degree SS, Sarjana
Yes,
Sastra,
Sarjana Sastra.
is it in language or in something different?
No, actually philosophy.
Cultural studies.
Philosophy.
Philosophy.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you develop your English skills? If you
Mostly I developed by myself. So I like reading and yeah, go to library. So if I have leisure time, so I go there and then just reading. So I love reading, and I practice and then by watching some videos on YouTube or another thing, and then for pronunciation sometimes I I Google yeah on googling or something like that, and then I try to mix my pronunciation, and yeah, mostly I do by myself. Yeah, for everything that's related to English, but actually yeah, I have learned at my university before, and yeah, I practice my English.
Okay, I mean you're quite. I mean your English is quite good for someone who did not study in a formal way. Yeah? Pak Christo, before Pak Munir takes over, tell me about the application of HOTS, yeah, in your lesson plan. Tell me about what you've done to apply the principles of HOTS in the lesson plan that you have just demonstrated teaching. Yeah.
Okay, there are something that I think that the second and the third.
The second means what? Creativity?
Yes, I mean that activity. Okay. The second and the third activity, I mean.
Okay. The second and the third activity.
Yes, there is thoughts because I asked the students about conclusion. So by watching, watching video, and there is a question: what can you conclude from this information about analytical expression text? So I think that is I kind of they have to understand well about this one. And the third activity is really hot, I think, because there are some questions about what is the purpose of the text. So to know what the purpose is not easy. So they have to know about more about the content itself, and then they have to analyze and to know more about the strongest argument. So I think that we have to compare each other, right? So from another arguments in paragraph 1 or paragraph 2, 3. So they have to know about the strongest. So I think that this is the first one.
Okay. Of course, what you've done is not with the real class, but do you think if you were to do this with a real class, would it be easy to pose the question to the students, what is your conclusion, or what do you think is the purpose of this text? Do you think it's I mean, it's easy to ask that question, or those questions, but it's not easy to get the student's response. Based on your experience, Christo, how do students usually respond to such questions? What's your conclusion? What's the purpose of the text? What do you think? I mean, in your experience, how do your students usually respond?
Okay, first, the majority of my students, they come from, I can say that middle and upper and middle. I mean that for their English. So because we have, SMP RCC, and then they have really good at English, not in active or first, but in passive, so they can understand well. So what I'm telling now is the input of the students, so they understand about the text itself. but some of them, because they come from outside of Samarinda, and I'm really challenging to, how to deliver this, because to understand the simple sentence, something like that. So it's not really, easy for them. But by little practice, I think, so from the simple sentence, they can get. And then we have here at our school any like matriculation, something like this, so for some of students, so they can know more about the basis of English and mathematics. And for maybe a second semester, they got yeah, they get a little better, I mean better in English. And the situation here is that some of them I really a challenge to how to implement this, but some of them they got easily to understand. And but based on my experience, what I did was just help them. I mean, there is kind of like personalized method, and maybe so I had to approach the students to make them so just cheer up them. So because talking about English is not, in my opinion, is not about knowledge itself, that how to, but how to build a good relationship with them, and then they can enjoy it. And at the end of the class, okay, sir, I want to ask something about this. So I haven't understood yet. Okay, it's okay. But even, I mean that the level of English, some of them that they are not good enough, but I really appreciate their struggle at how to overcome the problem.
Yeah, usually the key to success in getting students responses to your questions or commands is by practicing what they call the elicitation techniques, the techniques that teachers usually use in order to get their students' responses by, for example, by asking one question and then by asking another question, a follow-up question, until the teacher gets the answer or the response that he or she wants to hear from the students. Do you do this often?
Yeah.
If you ask a question and the students stay silent, what would you do? What would you do next? Would you ask more questions until you get the until you are satisfied with the answer?
Okay, of course. Of course, in learning process, so I think that asking and asking and asking, so I think it's better way for teacher to know more about their understanding about the materials. So that's what I did in my class. So I asked and asked and asked because in my opinion, so the knowledge must be constructed by them. It's not by the teacher. So I think it's so. I did actually when I was at the first time. I thought not for just for English, but before that, I just thought that the students has their own knowledge. Just the teacher facilitate them to construct the knowledge, to explore the knowledge. So that's why I think that asking is the real way that how to dig and how to explore the students' competence.
Okay. Munir, do you want to go on with your questions? I will come back later.
Thank you.
With Pak Christo, Pak Munir, we have it until
8:50, yeah.
8:50, yeah.
Okay.
Now it's 8:29.
Okay, Pak Christo. How are you today, Pak Christo?
Good, sir.
Good. Okay, good. So what preparation have you made to pass this comprehensive test?
First, I make sure that my lesson plans, my 2 lesson plans, that I have to, know more and more, and I read, more than more than twice. So I'm sure that my lesson plans well organized. And the second, of course, I read pedagogy for 4 materials there, and I watch on YouTube too about some of experiences that done from another students from Ujian Comprehensive. So yeah, that's what I've prepared. But actually, as I told to Mr. Khairil, so I prepare to discuss with my the fellow teacher here to make sure that my lesson plan meets with the students' situation right now. Okay, that's sir.
Okay, thank you, guys. So talking about uh, your file here, your lesson plan, I see that you use 3 indicators for the knowledge part and for the cognitive part, and 1 indicators for the psychomotoric part. So would you like to explain why did you choose those operational verbs in the cognitive part of your lesson plan? We have menentukan, we have mengidentifikasi, and menganalisis. Could you tell me why did you choose those operational verbs?
Okay, first, in taxonomy Bloom, so I know that there are levels, right? So the first,
Yep.
so for the first level, second level, third and fourth level, something like that. So to reach the highest level, you have to start from the first level. And so that's why, so I put there menentukan. So it's the C2, okay. Next, mengidentifikasikan C2, kemudian menganalisis C4. So that's kind of a rank in how to achieve the highest thing or high order thing in understanding about materials.
Why did you choose the operational verb menentukan before identifying? Is that not the other way around? Why how could the students decide before they identify something?
Actually, so because this, so I put there C2, all of them. So so it's just for there is no such kind of in my opinion, so menentukan and identification, so on that level is same. So because I put there C2, right? As I know in taxonomy Bloom, and so because just the okay, put this about analytical, and then this social function or something like that, so just put on the right order or something like that, so identification, and then menentukan, so just okay, that's one. This one is because they are at the first of my activity, there are some items that I put there, right? So analytical, and then social function or something like that. So the first thing that they have to identify, just identify, and then just to point it, okay, this one about link features, and this one about genetic structure itself. So I think that when they learn something, they have to point parts and parts. So that's the good way that how to understand more, and then after that, how to comprehend more by analyzing or something like that. So that's the way that I think that in delivering the materials.
Okay. And also this, you put this three operational verbs in different parts of your IPK. You use menentukan for the generic structure, and you use mengidentifikasikan for the language features, and you use analysis for the social function. I believe those three parts should be identifying, the student should identify first before doing another activity. For example, the social function. Why you directly ask them to analyze it? So, and they haven't identified first. They haven't done such any activities before, and then you just directly ask them to analyze it. How do they know that this is the social function without even identifying it first?
So as I told you before, that there is identification, right? In that.
In which part? In which part?
The second, first is menentukan, right? The second, identifikasi.
But you only say one thing there in the second, your second IPK, only the language features. There's no social function and the generic structure, only identifying the language features. Or am I looking at the wrong file? Apakah saya melihat ke file yang salah, Pak?
So what do you mean? I mean that identification itself, that I think that at the second, so there's menentukan, right? The first,
Yeah.
Yeah. Kemudian mengidentifikasikan, kemudian menganalisis.
Yes. The problem is, you are only identifying language features. Only one part of the three that you should identify. The student should identify.
Okay.
And the social function, you directly ask them to analyze it.
Okay.
There is no process before.
So let me check first.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've checked it. So it should be, you know, function social too in that part.
Sorry?
Yeah, it should be. So because I couldn't put it. I mean, I didn't put it for social function.
So you mean you forgot to do that?
It should be, yes. So the same DRP. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Okay. I understand.
Three different operational verbs for each part of the aspect that the student should identify, and to menentukan for generic structure, identifying for the language features, and analysis for the social function.
Yeah,
there should be a process before analyzing the social function. Okay, so I believe you are going to revise it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Now, let's come to the next questions. Are you familiar with the terms of essential material and advanced material, Pak Ustaz?
Sorry?
Are you familiar with the terms essential material and advanced material?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Could you please elaborate that? What do you know about essential material and advanced material, especially in this lesson plan you made?
Thank you. So talking about I mean the materials So I think for every student, so they have, the same, the same, materials for all students. But advanced, I mean that it's more than just I know about analytical expression text, but it's more than that one. So I mean that maybe it could be um, more complex, for knowing more about analytical expression text. So that's what I understand about it.
Okay, so which part do you think is the essential material in your lesson plan?
Essential materials is about, of course, the social function, okay, the social function, genetic structure, and the language feature is for essential. But for advanced, I think that it's about practical thing, but it needs some more analyzing thing, like how to relate with, something, to our surroundings maybe, and then to the practical way, in maybe in such kind of, how to write more complex analytical expression. Is not just make something simple thing. So that's about what I think that's about, the advanced material about analytical
Okay,
expression.
thank you. Um, do you know the 21st century skills that you should embed in your lesson?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, what are they?
First is critical thinking, and the second is the creativity. The third one is the collaboration, and the fourth one is the communication.
Okay, and which elements do you think that's very supportive to be applied in learning?
I think that I can say that all the four.
All the four.
Yes, because talking about knowing something, so I think that we need to be a critical person, okay, and then not just critical thinking, but you need to be creative, and so not just about thinking, critical thinking and creative, but you need to collaborate to others, because we don't work alone in this world, but you need to communicate to others. So even you have a good competence in critical thinking and creativity, and to collaborate to others, but if you don't know even how to deliver and how to communicate, because talking about 21st century, I think that need for skills that I hope that by learning process they can you know get that skills. So even I mean it's not really high expectation for students. I mean it's based on their level actually. So but the point here is for skills for centuries, 21st century. So I think that as a students, they have to have that one by the learning process we made in our class.
Okay. What about could you elaborate the learning steps in covering these four elements of 21st century skills, or did you put it in random in among your activities in your lesson plan, or is there any learning? Are there any learning steps in putting this critical thinking, creative thinking, collaborative, and communicative?
In my opinion, sometimes in random way.
Random. Okay.
Yes.
Could you please elaborate the steps, or in which
Okay.
part of your lesson you do that?
Okay. So the first thing that I mean, knowing something that you need to be a critical person. I mean, to be a critical of thinking first. So because when you saw some phenomenon or something like that, so you need to think what's about, and you think more about the something. After that,
in which part of your lesson is that?
I think that in that moment. You can see on my evaluation plan, there is critical thinking, mengorganisasikan strategi didik untuk belajar. So it's the first step. I think that when they face some thing or phenomenon, so they have to think first, and then what about, and know more about that one, and after that.
Why did you say that's the process of critical? There's a process of critical thinking in that part of your lesson.
So because at the first that I mean at the first step when they learn something, when we show them, so this is something that you want to know about today's learning or something like that. So something that they have to think is what's about, and there is some questions, of course, from the process. So that makes the process. I mean the following process. They know about something about that what they have they have tried to know about the phenomenon itself. And so I think that it's the process critical thinking inside of the process.
Okay. What about, you said in the critical thinking part, ini mengorganisasikan peserta didik untuk belajar, you said that the teacher gave as many, as a chance to the students to ask as many questions as possible. What about if the students don't ask any questions? What about they can't find the problem? They can't find any problems. What do you do as a teacher?
Okay, before the steps, I think that there is the first activity. They have this text, and then by the individual work, okay, they can try to answer the questions. And then I hope that by those activities before that mengorganisasikan or something like that, they can find their their problem, their needs, because there's a text, okay, they deal with that text. And so because it's just at the first process that they have to know more about this one. Every students, of course, they have their own understanding about the text, right? And the process after that, they dig the text itself, and then they asked many questions as possible about everything that they haven't understood yet about the text. I mean, based on the clues, the questions that I've made in the first activity. So that is the basis before going to the second organisasikan. It means that it's more, deeper, that how to dig about the text provided there, and then they try to ask many questions as possible. So that's what I think this process can.
That's every teacher's expectation. So after showing them the material, the topic, and we expect them to ask questions. We give them a chances to ask as many questions as possible. But the reality in the field, sometimes even we give them chances to ask questions. Sometimes they don't say anything. They don't come up with questions. As a teacher, what you should do in this process, because you say that this is critical thinking process, so we expect them to come up with the questions critically about the topic that we showed them. So as a teacher, what you need to do, or what you should do, what should you do if this happened to you, this situation?
Okay, thank you, sir. So I think that to break the situation, so if there is a really silent situation there, so I ask them some questions. I mean, that to make them, this is something that to think more about this text itself. Yeah, by asking
you
them,
ask a trigger question.
Sorry.
You trigger them to,
yes.
You give them a trigger. You ask them a trigger question.
Yes.
Could you give an example of the question? What do you do? What will you say? What will you ask to trigger them to ask questions?
Maybe starting from the simple question. So like, what is the text about? I mean that in the general way. And so do you think that it's close to your life? So because it's talking about COVID-19. And so I think that this way, if there's silent situation, so yeah, it's based on my experience too, that I try to how to carry them to to fill in that situation, then how to make them enjoyable. And then because when they face something that really needs more and more attention on that, so I think it's not really easy for the students, right? For some students, yes, but I think some of them no. And the point here is how to make them really enjoy the situation, and to carry from the simplest thing to the higher level, maybe something like that. So but okay. I try to from the simple thing.
Thank you, Pak Chris. I have more question, but the time is up already. The habis waktunya. You are excellent performance, excellent presentation. Thank you very much for your response, Pak Chris. I'll give it back to Pak Hairul.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a couple of more questions, but time is up, so we have to finish here. Yeah, thank you, Pak Christo. Congratulations on a job well done. I hope you will succeed from this program. Yeah, and I'm sure you can do it. Okay, so now we are ready for the next participant, and that is who is that? Ibu Niluh Putu Kalpikayanti. So
Pak Chris, don't forget to send your recording to the admin ya.
Oke, Pak.
Oke.
Oke, terima kasih, Pak.
Oke, terima kasih, Pak. Yeah, you may leave the room, Pak Christo. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Okay, that's all my presentation today. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.